In response to News 5's request for a full and complete breakdown of the government's expenditure on rental properties, the Ministry of Public Service did not provide the detailed figures. Instead, they referred News 5 to the proposed budget for fiscal year 2025-2026. While the figures are revealing, to say the least. According to the Briceño administration's budget proposal, recurrent expenditure on rents and leases is estimated at $18.6 million. Now, that includes office space rentals, vehicle rentals, and building rentals for other purposes. But that is $16 million more than what was initially understood to be the cost to taxpayers. A further analysis of the budget by the ministry reveals that the judiciary is shelling out an estimated $48,000 annually on rent and leases. To be clear, all the total figures provided in this report also include vehicle rentals. However, that's a jump from $17,000 in the last estimated budget. The Supreme Court is paying an estimated $30,000 to rent buildings, while the Magistrates Court is paying $4,000 for 2 buildings outlined in the list provided by the Ministry of Public Service, one owned by Jose Antonio Romero in Corozal and another owned by Emilio Zabane in Independence Village. On the other hand, the Ministry of Public Service and Governance and Disaster Risk Management pays out an estimated $11,600,000 of taxpayers' money for rents and leases overall. Here's what comes out of that figure for buildings and office rentals: $8 million to rent and lease office space, $3 million for dwelling or living quarters, and an additional $39,000 to rent other buildings. All these figures are contained within the estimated budget. In the Office of the Prime Minister, $100,000 was designated for rents and leases, with $21,000 going to building rentals for strategic management and administration. The list provided by the Ministry of Public Service points to 2 rental spaces, one for the Office of the Prime Minister in Belmopan to Adesia Lu, and another for the Prime Minister's office in Belize City to the Vista Plaza. Within the same ministry, e-governance and digitization is operating with an estimated $12,000 for building rentals. The Ministry of Finance's estimated budget for rents and leases doubled over the last fiscal year, from $311,000 to $629,000. $270,000 is going to rent and lease office space for international financial services, primarily Imarbe, situated in the Marina Towers, and the Belize High Seas Fisheries Unit inside the Aura building on the Philip Coulson Highway. Notably, none of these buildings are highlighted in the list of rentals provided by the Ministry of Public Service. Over the last year, the rent and lease budget almost doubled for the Ministry of Health and Wellness, from $199,000 to $300,000. For the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the estimated rents and leases budget stands at $4.3 million, but the primary expenditure here is overseas representation. It's costing taxpayers $1.9 million to rent office space overseas and an estimated $2.9 million annually to house diplomats. And we're only beginning to scratch the surface of what the rent and lease agreements are costing taxpayers. But for all these figures, we've had to rely on the budget estimates because the Ministry of Public Service has refused to release copies of those individual rental agreements. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.